has gone off, already pented at the wheel.
Yep.
Over the curb.
Yeah, well, he got a bit of a tank slapper in the middle of it, so once the back end of the car broke away, and you can see just how much of a... Oh, wow. Well, it didn't turn over, but it got up on two wheels for sure. So red flag, and the reason why the car, you can see the edge of the racetrack, you can see with the barriers, there's not a huge amount of space between the two, so that car will be removed. There may be a bit of debris off the racetrack as the recovery vehicle very rapidly gets across diagonally to the flow of traffic to get to the 111 Ferrari. And Kelvin van der Linde will be mighty disappointed because that was his first flying lap.
Yeah.
He just recorded the time, disallowed, not for any fault of his own. Watch the Ferrari, the second of these two cars. There he gets over the curb, he gets that little tank slapper, and then it starts to move up and down and bouncing, and that's when it all gives up. Probably caused by not getting tyres up to fully operating temperature and a certain amount of maybe inexperience as well.
And very close to going over, as you saw, but damage on the right rear corner. That's going to take it out of Q1, potentially out of Q2 as well. Steve Earle may not get to drive, depending on the damage.
I would imagine the car will not run in either qualifying session, certainly not in this one, but probably not in the second Q session either, because whatever the damage is, by the time the car gets returned into the pit lane and they take the bodywork off, and it was a heavy enough hit to tip the car up on two wheels, so that may have impacted on that corner, the suspension, drive shaft, usual thing just to get into the gearbox. So I would imagine the car will go back into the garage and will stay there. And where that car might have started, had it not had this incident, more than likely towards the back of the field. Anyway, Steve, orthopedic surgeon from Texas. Exactly, Steve. Tell it as it is, Steve.
So, a true gentleman racer, but frustrated that he's not out on track. A lovely quote from his wife to say that if he's not raced for a while, he gets on her nerves. So apparently she spoke to Ronnie Kessel at Kessel Racing and said, find something for him to drive, because whatever you're charging him, it's cheaper than the divorce is going to be.
Excuse me, I forget about the marriage. Imagine you're one of his patients and he's bursting to get into his Ferrari to go racing, and he's trying to put together a compound fracture. Is he going to do it? Of course he is, but he's a professional surgeon. But anyway, you know, these are the niggles that occur. You know, you get these sort of grey days in relationships, and you know, maybe Mrs. Earle was having one of those sort of off-shaded days.
You might well be right. You might be right. So, Steve Earle is here. He's doing his best to get in the car, but Rory Penttinen has put it off the road. We also had a look a few moments ago, number 23, which is the Tech 1 Racing Lexus. Now, we've seen that as an AMP Cup car within the Endurance Cup this